They're being called to Gitmo 5, the accused masterminds behind the 9/11 attacks now on trial at Gitmo. But the court proceedings not going as planned. Who would have thought? It appears the accused terrorists are putting on a show while the victims' families are forced to watch via satellite and in person. Here now with his thoughts, New York's Congressman Michael Grimm. Congressman, could this have been avoided?
Possibly. I mean, at this point, it's a complete circus, and for me, it's a very visceral issue. I had a friend who's down there, won the lottery, lost his sister in 9/11, and he's one of the guys that the terrorists gave the thumbs up to.
Ramsey Ben Al-Shib.
Look, the world, though, is seeing that these are just animals, thugs, low-life criminals that are void of humanity, and that they don't have a real cause at all. And anyone out there that would try to give them any legitimacy after seeing this knows what they are. I just hope, though, that the judge does start to rein it in now and not allow these victims to have to go through any more of this crap, and that's what it is.
Well, one of the Tosh guy came in, he was fully restrained, he promised to be calm, and then he made a little airplane and pretended it was hitting a building and laughing at the victims, and then they also break into prayer. But why are we surprised? We saw the Zacharias Moussaoui trial. He pleaded not guilty, and the sentencing phase took 4 years.
Here's another interesting thing that no one has really spoken about. These guys are trying to say that they were terrorized and there was torture and all of these things. I can tell you something. The psychological makeup of someone that was just tortured isn't someone that's coming out and doing these types of things. If you've just been tortured for as long as they say they've been tortured, they would be very demure, very meek, very mild-mannered. You can see here what this is. These are just disgusting animals that have no regard for anything whatsoever, and the world is seeing that, unfortunately, at a great cost for these families and for America as a whole.
But here's the thing, Congressman Grimm. We think that. Of course we think that. We're civilized people who have a brain in our heads. But the people that follow them are getting motivated by hearing this and seeing this.
Well, and that's the thing that I think is a very difficult balance. How do we show the world that we have a court system, that we are above what these animals have done and what they continue to do, and at the same time, though, balance that we don't make this a propaganda.
But it's too late. 2013. We till 2013 now, and plus there's more of this. Meanwhile, I want to talk about something else that means a lot to you and should mean a lot to America, the MF Global scandal, and John Corzine's role possibly behind it. Do you think he's getting a pass? Why aren't we more interested in this?
Well, this is why I'm calling on independent counsel or a special prosecutor to be put in here. First of all, after scandals like GSA, after the way Eric Holder handled the entire debacle with Fast and Furious, the American people have lost confidence in this administration, and rightfully so. We should have an independent counsel here because this is a travesty. Here's someone that was brought in by MF Global because of his relationships. He has a very strong relationship with Gensler. Everyone knows that. Gensler, Gary Gensler, who's in charge of the CFTC. So here you have the head of the CFTC, the lead regulator.
CFTC is?
Commission Futures, their lead regulator for MF Global. So that's all the people need to know. Here you have the number one regulating agency having a one-on-one relationship. They work together. There's a long history there. So everyone felt from the very beginning, going back years ago when he first started, that MF Global was getting preferential treatment that no one else on Wall Street would have gotten but for those relationships.
And then it ends up 3 years after 2008 when we become, all of us, more street smart about what's happening on that level.
Exactly.
We see this happen with private funds being put into...
Which is, just so you know, on Wall Street, private segregated funds, that is sacrosanct. You do not transfer under any circumstance to the other companies. That happened here. This whole thing is a travesty, and people want answers, and they deserve it. This administration hasn't given it to them.
Well, Congressman Grimm, thanks so much. I appreciate talking to you.
Great to see you.
I look forward to checking with you again.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, next